Ah, the picturesque Sunshine Coast. And on our left there you can see Mount Tibrogargan, or the Big Ape, or the Sleeping Giant, or that thing over there, the original Mountain of Doom. And just 15 minutes up the highway from where I live is the world-famous Australia Zoo. You know the guy? Yeah, him. Where the cost of admission is so high you'd have to sell a couple of your slot cars just to get one family member through the door? Yeah, we'll stick to the slot cars. Crikey. In the wake of the epic Ferris wheel build, we're going to take it a bit easy this week and install some track lighting. Now, by mere coincidence, one of my awesome subscribers reached out to me via email. Brian Davis, another Aussie, who hails from New South Wales, Australia. Turns out that Brian is quite the whiz when it comes to 3D printing. He sent through some pictures of what he'd already done with his own track lighting, and the bases really caught my eye. They're tailored especially to fit easily into the side of the Carrera track. So I asked Brian if he would knock up 40 of them for me. And he did, in just a weekend. Amazing. You see, just the week before, I'd found these budget lights on AliExpress. I believe they were only around $9 for 20 lights. So I got 2 lots, just to check them out. Of course, the thought had struck me, how on earth am I going to mount these? Drill holes in the table, use a big blob of blue tack? So when Brian's email arrived in my inbox, I just couldn't believe his timing. So let's check these out and see what we can do. These lights are actually much better quality than I expected. They're not all plastic, the shafts are metal. I suspect aluminium. Now, there's not a lot of information with them, but I do know they are 3-volt LED lights. Don't know how many milliamps they draw, but I guess we'll just have to experiment and see what sort of a result we get. To make these fit into these bases, I just had to drill them out slightly. They were a little bit too tight to fit these shafts, but that was easy enough, as you saw a moment ago. Now you just feed the wires through, and here we go. Fits superbly. Look at that. One complete light. Now the light does tend to jiggle around and go out of alignment, so I'm just going to put a dab of the super glue in there and see if that holds it in place. And I'm happy to report, of course it does. Works like a charm. Until your bloody t-shirt gets caught on it and you drag it and nearly snap it off, but that's a whole other story. I've put together about 20 of these lights just for this exercise. Should be enough. So let's see how they attach to the track. Now you'll see these holes in the side where you typically attach your shoulders. The little red clips go in through there. That's what we're using. We've got them on the outside, and as you can see, also we've got them on the inside. If you do have shoulders attached to your track, they have these holes on the outside again, so you can still use the lights. See how they go in? Perfect fit. Well done, Brian. Amazing. A nice, neat fit. They look like bought ones. So let's try and fit a light. I'm feeding the wires through first because they're going to be neatly hidden under the track. And then we just gently press the base into position. There we go. Just like that. At this point I'm thinking, what's the looming problem? There has to be something wrong because this is just too easy. But there wasn't anything wrong. Look at that. 2 lights fitted. And if I didn't know any better, they looked like Carrera products that were bundled in with the set. Brian, as that slot car guy would say, you're a legend. These are actually fantastic. But it doesn't stop there. You can still fit your guardrail. They don't get in the way of the lights, and the lights don't get in the way of the guardrail. Have a closer look. It's great to know that whether you want to put them on the outside or the inside of the track, there's no issues. Guardrails or not, shoulders or not, it all just works. Isn't that fantastic? So if you find yourself in a jam like I did and you don't know how to fit your lights, shoot Brian Davis an email and I'm sure he'll sort something out with you. Before moving on, I'm going to test these lights out with a couple of 1.5 volt energizers. I've MacGyvered the crap out of it. Look at that, they're working. Oh gosh. Tra la 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 la. Yeah, enough of that. So they're working, they're fitting. I guess it's time to go ahead and install them properly. But first, just let me admire them a little longer. Look at them pretty bright lights. Oh. Okay, as I mentioned, I've got a whole bunch of them prepared. Got a few left over too, and this is what I really like about these. We can pull them apart. I'm just going to extract the wires from the shaft, and then I'm going to go one step further and remove the light from that head. But I'm not going to show you, apparently. Okay, another package, this time from Smiley Amazon. And this, let's see what we've got. Well, I've got another one of those. Still got a couple of builds left. We're going to do the other light, the LED light from Magnetic. I've got a universal power adapter for these lights, so that's relevant to what we're doing. And I got this bargain kit. It's got wire, there's a whole bunch of heat shrink. It's got this handy dandy tool, crimping tool in there. Some electrical tape. That's good. Heaps of stuff. And that was a bargain. So if you're looking for this sort of stuff, check it out on Amazon at the moment. This was like a Prime deal, all this. So, yeah, super cheap, but good. So this adapter, let's see. So you've got all the knickknacks. This one on the end is the one we're after. See, it's got the little screwdriver adjustment bits, so our wire will go in the end. So we want that one. These had a 5-star rating, so I've jumped on it. What's that? There's a key. A key? What do I need a key for to get into my adapter? What is there? A hidden treasure inside? The key is for turning the voltage, so you can set the voltage. Oh, I should get... Yes. It does 9 volt. I've got to get on and get another one of these for the tower lights, the magnetic racing ones, because I'll be buying some more of those. I probably have 4 or 6 of those by the time I'm finished. So a 9 volt one of these, as long as there's enough amps, should do the trick, and I won't have to rely on those 9 volt batteries. But there we go. There's the end. We take that goes in there. Wire. Here's my wire for this light. I might try this out, actually. We'll just set it up. Oh, and it says plus and minus there. That makes it handy dandy. All right, let me plug it in, see if it works before we start cutting up some wire. I'm going to do these in parallel. I'm going to create a plus and negative bus cable. Well, I'm just going to cut them up into increments and solder them all together, because what I want to do is just hide the wire under the track. I don't want big plastic joiners and junctions and circuit boards, and you see some of the ones the model railway people use, and they sit there going, oh, we don't have to do any soldering. There is nothing wrong with soldering. If you do soldering properly, it will never fall to bits. It'll never fail on you, whereas those do up ones with the screwdriver, they sometimes work their way loose, just hanging underneath your table. Been there, done that. So yeah, I'm going to solder them. I like soldering. I've got a number of soldering irons. God, I've over the years I've built several state-of-the-art recording studios. I've done all the cabling, kilometers of cabling, high-end audio cable. You've got mega tracks, so the cables, oh my God, and they have to be done right. So all that previous experience is now going to pay off to wire my silly little 3 volt AliExpress lights. Can you believe it? All that experience, all that life experience was leading to this moment. Oh my God. Okay, here's what I'm doing with the wiring. I'm cutting a length of wire, the same length between these 2 lights, and this is the furthest most point. I'm working backwards, so red is red and the other is the other, and I'm just twisting them together for the moment, making sure they're apart so they're not making contact. Just letting them sit there. I'm going to go through and solder all these in one hit, but for now we just want to make sure this is going to work. We're going to create a parallel bus kind of arrangement, but we're just doing it in a nice simplified easy way with the least amount of space being taken up. So this one here, you're adding it on just like the other one. Remember, we're working our way backwards, and then we're taking our next wire and adding it to it. So this will go through. I'm going to hide all this wiring under the track. So we're going to now attach this. I'll put the camera down, do that by hand. Okay, so reds first. And I'm just winding these together, like so. Very, very simple. And now our other. Make sure that they're pretty well wound together. Again, we solder these later once we know that it's all working. Now, around about this time, I'm going to check. I'm going to grab a couple of batteries. These are 1.5 batteries. If we put them together, we're going to, that's our negative, if we put them together, we're going to, there we go, 1, 2, 3 lights are working. I don't have a third arm, so I can't pick up the camera and show you, but you should be able to see this one is lighting up. The other 3 are also lighting up, and they're bright. They're not losing any luminance. So far so good. We'll continue on, and important to check each step of the way, because if you have a dud, you want to find it out then and not later. Otherwise you've got to cut things up and redo things. So we'll press on.
And press on is exactly what I did, adding a few more lights and stopping periodically to check them. And as you can see, no problems as yet. Very nice. And surprisingly, very bright.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All good. Okay, we've got 9 lights. This is light number 9. Let's see if we've got 9 lights. Okay, we've got one here. Is that actually on? I'm thinking we should be able to run 20 of them off the one power supply, maybe even more. But like I said, we'll keep adding them until they start to dim. But so far, so good. Looking pretty snazzy. Wouldn't it be great to put those little filaments, those little LED lights in each of the double garages? So that'd be 6 of them. I think we'll do that. Probably not this time, but I'll definitely do that, because I've got to figure out how to get them in there, how to conceal all the wires. But that's another project for later. But for now, very happy. So far, so good. 9 lights and counting. Awesome.
Let's have a little look with the lights out. Or on.
And there we are. Doesn't that look sexy?
If you say so.
But yeah, with the garage all lit up, a little light in each of the garages, that'll cast light onto the pit lane. I think that's pretty good. I wonder how we light up this Ferris wheel. That's something that needs a lot of thought. But look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lights, 9 out of 9. Night racing's going to look so cool. All right, let's move on. Well, 9 lights down, going well. We're going to have to hold it there, though, because it's Father's Day here in Australia. It's Sunday. What is it? Sunday the 3rd of September. Man, where did the year go? And yeah, I got given a whole bunch of goodies. Not just a few minutes ago. So I'm going to show you what I got. So here it is. Here's my goodie bag. You're going to love this. I got a Chiquito bar. Remember Chiquito bars? They're still a thing. Got that. And then I got a cherry ripe chocolate bar. And then I got this chocolate bar from Bounty. And then I got another Chiquito bar. Then I got another cherry ripe bar. And then I also got another Chiquito bar. Oh, and just to finish off, I got another Bounty bar. How cool is that? That's a lot of Father's Day presents. Oh, hang on, I got one more. I got this ruddy great giant Toblerone. Who likes Toblerone? That's enough for a year. That's a year's worth of Toblerone. But it didn't stop there. Actually, my offspring presented a $100 gift voucher, a cash gift voucher, cash, and said, "This is for any slot car related thing you might like to get, Dad." And I went, "Oh, really?" So I jumped on the iPad Pro and went, "Ooh, what? I wonder if there's anything of interest in the local stores." There usually isn't, because they seem to get the slim pickings of the leftovers for here in Brisbane. You go there, it's the same cars you saw 6 months earlier, and nobody wants them. But things have changed. Believe me, things have changed. Anyway, I looked on the website of this one nearby, Hobbyrama, and you would not believe it, but there was 3 awesome cars, including that what is it, a Porsche 917? The Shell Helix one, the yellow one. That looks fantastic. One of the new Ford Mustangs, I think it's the 76 car, it's white with the blue stripes. That one they got. But then I discovered they had the new McLaren. I couldn't believe it. You've got to be kidding. I never expected to see the new McLaren. There it is. So we're going to stop making this video now. I'm going to jump in the car. We're heading up to Hobbyrama. We're going to do a road trip. Let's do it right now. Oh, road trip. Let's go. And there it is. We have visual confirmation. Target is in sight. Hobbyrama. And we've just hit a red light. Oh. Okay. Oh, there it is right there. Let's get it. Is it? 3, 2, 1. Oh, got it. But which one did we get?
How exciting. But it didn't stop there. On the way back, the family took me to our, new favourite restaurant. A Japanese barbecue restaurant where they bring you the fresh food and you cook it yourself. And look at the elaborate system they've got in place here. It's actually fantastic. Great experience. You just pay a certain price per person and you can have as much as you like. You keep ordering it and they keep bringing it. And the special drinkies are really special. Don't have any more than one of these, trust me. Oh, and they use a combination of real people and these chatty service droids to look after you. So cool.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Don't forget your tip. Oh, we don't tip in Australia.
What a shame. Now here's to all the slot car loving Aussie fathers out there. Cheers.
All right, back again. What? That was a pretty quick trip. Well, they had 4 of the cars I'd like there. They had the McLaren, they had the Porsche 917, yes, the Ford Mustang. They also had the black version of the Ford GT. I haven't been able to find that anywhere, so it was a difficult decision. It's like, which one will we get? But as you know, we got one, so what's in the bag? What do we call this? Show us your sack. Oh, let's not do that. All right, let's see, which one did we get? There's a docket. Drum roll, which one was it? Was it the Ford? Was it the Porsche? Was it the other Ford? The Mustang? Or was it the McLaren? I think you all know which one I got. It's the McLaren. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Holy mackerel. Let's open it up. I thought it was yellow and black. It's actually gold. It's gold and black and very metallic. I don't know if it shows through, but let's get this carefully open. I've got a doctor, scalpel. Oh, and I don't have those glasses on. Oh. This is going to be a tricky opera. Don't cut your thumb off. Got that one. And I'm taking great care. I've got no spectacles on. All right, I know I'm just going to stab myself with that. That's very sharp. Here we go. It's coming off. It's coming off. It's coming off. It's coming off. What's that? Oh, it's got some sort of paper thing stuck on the back now. And that's the distributor in Australia. That's new. They don't usually put those stickers on. And here we are. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh my gosh. I've been wanting a McLaren since day one, but the liveries, I couldn't stand them. I thought they were boring as. But as soon as I saw this one on that slot car guy recently, I went, oh, fantastic. At last, there's a livery worth getting. And that definitely does not disappoint. Let's undo this guy and have a closer look. What a great, probably the best Father's Day ever, because as you saw, we went straight from there to our favourite new restaurant and got service from robots, which was surprisingly efficient and rather pleasant. Anyway, let's look at this little beastie. That is fantastic. Can't wait to race this one on the track. And doesn't it go well with the Ferris wheel? Yeah, that is a beauty. Driver looks good. Terrific. Wow. I wonder if Slot Invasion USA have gold performance guides. That would be nice. Although there's a highlight of red here, so if we do put a red performance guide on there, it's gonna fit in. But wouldn't gold be nice? So maybe when you retire, you get gold performance guides. That's what you get. You get red. You get black ones through the years. You get to our age. That's the 45 to 65 age group. That's the demographic that's watched my channel, actually. Typically aged between 45 to 65. So we're all getting back into it after all these years because the world outside has turned to shit and we're looking something to keep our minds occupied so we don't have to deal with it. And this is awesome. This is perfect. But, yeah, the red ones when we hit, the 45 to 65. But when you actually retire, there should be gold guides to put on your slot cars. Let's make that a thing. Let's send all these emails to Slot Invasion and say we want gold performance guides. That would be brilliant. And look here, these are yellow, bright yellow. That's a nice touch, but look at that, gold and black. That's a beauty. Very happy with that. I cannot believe it. Just like that, we've got the McLaren. So in the space of just a couple of weeks, we got the new red, well, it's not the new one, but the Red Bull Ferrari to go with the Ferris wheel, especially for the big reveal. But this one came last week, as you saw. I've put my last performance guide on this in Quick Slicks. This car is tearing up the track. We might have a new contender for King of the Garage here. But I'm out of tyres and I'm out of guides. So yeah, I want to trick this out quickly, but we'll run it. We'll run it just as it is. That's fantastic. What a Father's Day! I hope if you've had a Father's Day today, or this week, last week, whenever this video goes up. This one's going up next weekend. So yeah, a few days have passed. Father's Day in Australia's been and gone, but I hope you guys had a good one. I had a great one. An app's probably the best one ever, like I said. Wow. So I'm going to pack this away.
Oh, really?
And we'll get onto this wiring, hey, and finish off what I had planned. I'm not going to go too far. I'll probably put enough of these to go all the way around to just behind the Mountains of Doom over there. So that will be, so we're at 9, 10, 11. So there'll probably be unlucky 13. Maybe we should do 14 or 12, we'll see. But we'll see if we can get them all working on the one adapter. And I might even try to do 3 on that upper level of the back bridge over there. Yeah, that can continue on. So that will 13, 14, 15, that'd be 16 lights, surely, that they will run off that power adapter. We will see. Let's get back into it. Let's finish this job. Okay, I'm back out in the kitchen here. I've got my now somewhat infamous footbridge from the Mountains of Doom. First of all, I've added some shell helix banners to either side of it. I think they look pretty slick. And now what I'm going to do, I've got these lighting elements I've removed from the light stands, and I'm going to try and install one probably underneath the center of this, as well as one up under the roof here. Okay, with the help of some movie magic, I've super glued one of these little guys in place at the underside of the little roof, little canopy of this lookout. So hopefully that'll dry in place and stay there. I've got some electrical tape helping to secure it as well. Then I'm just going to run these cables, wires sideways. I'll use electrical tape on them again, and I'll conceal them somehow running down the outside of this or the inside. But I'll then get this red paint and paint over the electrical tape, and hopefully we'll be able to conceal it all. And I might come up with some kind of little light, translucent light fixture, light cover to glue over the top of that, and it'll distribute the light a little bit softer. But we'll see. And yes, I have checked that it does work. I've hooked it up to my little batteries. So that's one down, and I'm going to do another one over here. So let's press on. And I've taped down these wires. I'm just adding a bit more of that crimson paint just to try and conceal the wires. So I've got that one there, I've got that one there. Now I think I've touched up all that. The paint's to help cover up the electrical tape. I don't know if this will work. First time I've attempted this sort of thing. We'll see how it goes. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Just those 2 lights. One in the lookout itself. I'm not going to have any lighting above, but this one shining down on the track below I think will be really cool. And you won't believe it, I just had a little accident and totally destroyed this bridge. I can't believe it. It was on the edge here. I wanted to just work on this wiring, concealing it, gluing it to the side of the thing, and I bumped it. The whole thing fell off the side, and like a ninja, reflexes reached to catch it and smashed it against there, and it just disintegrated. The railings came off, these pieces came off, this snapped off, these are off. At least a dozen pieces. I could not believe it. I was like, oh my God! And yeah, so I'm in the process now of gluing it back together. I guess the good news is I'll do a better job gluing it back. This time when I built this I was using that stringy glue crap. Now I'm using this stuff. It's a lot better. So I've got the height and the angles better this time, so I'll glue that on. I'll wait till that dries there, then I'll glue these back on. I can't believe it. This has set me back an hour or two. And it wasn't Pete's fault. I'm enjoying the show as usual. I just wasn't concentrating. I think Danny from Dick's Slot Car came on. He's got a whole bunch of new cars, and I was like, oh, what's he getting? And then not concentrating, and oh dear, I can't believe it. But look, it's not a total disaster. Rebuilding. These are pretty well concealed. I just can't believe I busted it like that. I mean, I literally smashed the thing. I could not believe it. Could not believe it. All right, well, I'll continue on rebuilding, get back to where I was, and then we'll continue on. This is the day after Father's Day. Yesterday was awesome. Today, there's a different vibe in the air. Maybe I should just take a break. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, as the thunder starts cracking outside, we've got a lovely big thunderstorm happening overhead. Must be that climate change, hey? Oh, I'm going to look at some soldering. Now, I did have 3 soldering irons. I could only find 2. So this one here is my 40 watter. Now, this is good for general purpose soldering. This one, I haven't used this one in a while, actually. This is my 60 watter. So this is for your real more heavy duty super duper soldering. Like on my guitars, on the volume pots, on the back casing, it takes a lot of extra juice to heat up, typically to solder on earth wires, etc. So the 60 watt is good for that. I wouldn't use this on this fine wire. It'll just melt all the plastic off. So we'll put the 60 watter away into my very, very, very tidy and organised toolbox.
Huh?
Yeah, I know.
What a mess.
Take as much inspiration from that as you can. I know it's awesome. Look at, you can just find anything at any moment. I don't waste any time at all trying to find something. I know exactly where everything is most of the time. Okay, back over here. So I'm going to use my 40 watter. I did have a 25 watter. 25 watt soldering iron's good if you're doing circuit board type stuff, because that way you won't accidentally melt the bloody circuit board so easily. But this 40 watter will do the trick for today. So I'm just going to fire it up carefully. I'm going to lay down some protection across the track. I usually don't, but I've learnt the hard way. I'll put something down as I work my way around. I'm going to solder all these wiring points. It's all working. Let's just make it more permanent, hey? So I've got 13. I've removed one of the mountains of doom, and so I can get into this corner better. This is number 13 here. So I'm going to add another parallel wire here to get up to these little lights I've just fitted to the seemingly very destructible bridge. God, I must have superpowers or something. I just went smash and it was all, yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, I've got the light, the IKEA strip lighters underneath. I'm actually going to connect this to those 2 lights on this bridge, and then from there I want to add 1, 2, 3. And at this point I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that, but I want the light underneath shining down. And at that point there, I'll probably stop here, although there's more bridges. So I'm just going to put the soldering iron tip just underneath the wire, let it heat up for a bit, bring in your solder and just let it melt onto those. That's all it requires. Like again, this isn't a super powered soldering iron, but we just want enough to soak into the wire. That's more than enough. Let's do this one just to soak in and give us a decent connection. Oh, let go. And good glasses are a must, which I don't have. All right, so there you go. There's those 2 done. Too easy. Now I'll just let that dry for a minute, and what I'll do is snip these excess off, and then I'll either put heat shrink on it or just wrap it in some electrical tape, either or. And then this will all be tucked under, concealed underneath the track. It's thin, it won't cause any issues. And that's it. I'm just going to, that's 1 down, 12 to go. 6 down, 7 to go. I'm absolutely flying through this. Like I said, it's not hard. It's a very straightforward setup. So, yeah, if you're seeing these hobby channels and they're going on about, solderless, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, again, it's my opinion based on experience with all kinds of wiring installations, audio, video, AV, professional recording studios. I actually helped build an entire TV production facility, commercial television production facility, way back. I learned a lot of things there. The guy they hired to do all the electrical and all the wiring, God, I learned a lot from that bloke. He's a professional rigger by trade and proper qualified electrician, etc. But he had advanced knowledge on all kinds of different wiring schemes and things, and man, I learned a lot from that guy. Actually, if he saw me now, he'd be shaking his head. What are you doing? There you go. There's another one down. But yeah, look, I'm past the halfway point now. Where am I? Have a look. I'm here. I'm admiring my new car. Isn't that awesome? Now, I've got some black tape and some red tape. I've discovered my gas-powered lighter, stove lighter, that has a little flame coming out. It's run out of gas. And I think the environmental climate change folks might have a cow if they see any of us using gas. Why are they banning gas? Domestic gas? I don't get it. Anyway, let's not even get into that nonsense. So I'm just going to resort to taping them up. That'll do. This stuff is as good as anything. And I'll put the red on the red, the black on the other, and tuck them under the track. You won't even know they're there. You'll be able to easily access them if you need to. And yeah, that'll be that. So 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more, yeah. And look, my bridge, I've added the 2 lights. They work, but I tried picking it up. I thought it was dry, and the bloody thing fell off again. So I've glued the hell out of it to the point of it starting to look a bit... Okay, just got another Amazon delivery. This is the 3-volt version of that power supply. I've already plugged it in and wired it up using their adapter. Let's throw the switch and see what we get. I've switched off the photographic lights for this just so we can see them easily. I'm going to throw the master switch here for all the track. Let's see if they actually light up. Woohoo! We have light. Not that one. Look at this. We've got light in our little lookout. Light under the bridge. We've got some light happening on the big bridges. Now with these, I've just got the filament hanging down. I've got to find some kind of translucent plastic, I don't know, like a tooth paste holder cap or something. I don't know. If anyone has any ideas, let me know in the comments. Something that would fit over that and look like a light fitting. Something translucent so it would disperse the light a bit more. It'll be some simple little thing off of something. Not totally transparent, but translucent. I've got 2 more going on here. I've got to wire them in. I will keep going. I'll put 2 more in there. I've drilled the little holes, and I'll put another 2 street lamps here. This one here will probably be the end of the line. That'll be, what's that, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26 lights all running on one adapter. The garages, I'm definitely going to do the garages and the control tower. We'll put a light in that. And then somehow light up this Ferris wheel. That'll be the creme de la creme. So that'll be in a future episode. So far, so good. Really liking this. We've finally got lights on a bridge up the top, eh? But look at the little lookout. Predator Gorge is all lit up now. Isn't that amazing? And we've got light down there. These guys are happening. And all the way down the main straight. got some pit lamps, other ones here. Yeah. Is that one working? Yes, it is. And that's our first one in the whole batch. Yeah, that is a success. All right. Let me finish these other bridge ones off. I've soldered all the way around to there. I've just got to do a bit more soldering. Then I'll tape them up, conceal them. We'll light it all up then with all the lights switched off and see how it looks. How cool. Okay, I've got the photographic lights off again. I've just got the overhead light bulbs on. I've wired in a few more. I've done all that I wanted to do. I'm yet to tidy up and conceal the cables, but let's just finish this off by seeing if they work. I'm going to flick the switch here. Let's see what happens. Wow, look at that. We've got a few extra there. I've done all the bridges. Look at that. All the bridges now have their lights, but I need some sort of little covers to put over them. I think I might switch these overhead lights off. I've got a couple more street lights up here on this bend. But yeah, all the bridges done just like that. I love how this lookout turned out. That's cool. Let's flick these overhead lights off and get a better look at this. Don't know how this camera handles low light. We shall soon see. All right. There we are.
Where did they all go?
Now, I'm just wondering if those lights, they seem a little bit dimmer to me now. So I might have put too many on that one power pack. So I probably could do with a second one, and when I complete the rest of the lights, yeah, we'll split the power between two adapters. Should be quite good. But for now, this is pretty good. They're lighting up. I like the way the bridges are looking. But yeah, they're dim, definitely dim. They're not as bright as they were a moment ago. So maybe about 20 lights is the limit. I think I've done 25. Yeah. All right, well, let's wrap it up for the week there. This is definitely a good start as far as the lighting is concerned. To finish off, let's go upstairs to my office computer. Some of the subscribers have sent in some track plans they put together, and I'd like to show you. You can take some screenshots of them if you're planning on building this circuit, but just be interesting to see what they've discovered. They've done some good work too. Okay, so let's head on up.
But before we do, just check this out. I removed a few lights off, reducing them down to about 15, and much better now. They're lighting up perfectly. They're as bright as they should be. And I think that's the limit per adapter, 15. So it's working out terrific. All right, let's go and have a look at some track plans.
Well, you might recall back during the King of the Garage episode, just a few episodes back, I did a walk around the track piece by piece, and I asked if anybody could possibly insert all the data into one of those track planner programs, and several subscribers obliged. We've got quite a few to look at here, and I'm showing you the favourite ones, and I was right, the track does not conform. Let's take a closer look and see what they came up with.
First up, this one comes from Dave at Slot R in the UK. And as you can see, Dave was indeed able to confirm that the track does not resolve, but only by a little smidge. Also, it's 32 metres long, or 105 feet. Thanks for putting that together, Dave. Awesome job. Next, here's one from Dave Volk. Oh yes, another Dave. Now this one looks pretty darn accurate. He even got the overpassing. And as you can see right next to the control unit, it just doesn't quite resolve. But thanks to the large span of the track, you can easily nudge it across, cheat a little, and it will resolve, as I've proven. Thanks, Dave. Now here's another one, or rather another 3 from Gary. Now here's the current layout as it is, and like the others, he's proven it doesn't quite resolve. Looks a little bit worse than the others though. It's not that bad, surely. Not to worry though, because Gary's done a couple of mods. Check these out. Here's mod number 1. Now
Now, it looks like he's swapped out a couple of 160 curves here and there for 230 curves, as I suggested. And the result pretty much resolves. Looks good, although it looks like there's a little bit of wasted space there. So let's have a look at Mod 2. Yeah, that's more like it. In fact, this is my pick of the bunch. There's a few less mods than the previous ones. He's altered the toe cutter a little bit, swapped the 160s for 230 curves, a couple of little quarter straights in at the hairpin there, but the whole thing resolves, just like that. So yeah, my pick of the bunch, and I understand Gary's going to build this with his grandsons. Awesome. And that's all I have for you, slot car adventurers. See you next week. And once again, happy belated Father's Day. Aussie Father's Day, that is. But hey, all slot car dads are awesome. Just like my new McLaren. Oh yeah. And why is there a naked lady in one of the garages?